This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works, understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.
Upgrade to Lime!
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update. It's Wednesday, February 18th, 2015. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Too little, too late. President of the University of the West Indies Guild of Students, Demari Paris, is not impressed with the government's late delivery of promised bursaries. In fact, he revealed today that 1,600 students were forced to drop out because of the lack of funds to pay tuition costs. Paris describes last week's cabinet approval of $3 million in financing as untidy, insisting that government should have delivered the bursaries 7 months ago as promised. The Guild president is now urging the government to make the money available in a timely manner to prevent any undue pressure on the institution.
My concern is that if we are not careful, we will have a situation where, because of the university's inability to properly plan its year, the university will begin to, or have to operate essentially in a ad hoc manner, not being able to predict its student body, and that can essentially relate to institutional instability, something that we simply cannot allow the university to undergo, as it is not a sustainable model for the management of the system, and it could eventually lead to the organization's collapse. Definitely the university is concerned about this, and I, as the Guild president, currently I'm concerned about it, and it is a concern I will be passing on to any future administrations. Definitely, we have to do something about the situation as it stands.
Out of order, attorney at law and opposition MP Kerrie Symmonds blasts Industry Minister Donville Inniss, who told Parliament yesterday he's deeply troubled that there is no Barbadian on the bench of the Caribbean Court of Justice, suggesting that the minister's comments were more out of ignorance than malice. Symmonds tells Barbados Today it's foolish to suggest there is something wrong with the regional court because there is no Barbadian judge. Symmonds contends that adequate provisions have been made to insulate the court from political interference, and it therefore deserves respect.
I am sick and tired of the brainless buffoonery which is touted about this region, seeking to pull down some of the few institutions that we have which are really working. I feel the court should be congratulated for being beyond these petty and narrow insular considerations. It is not a lucky dip. It is a serious body with a judicial staff that can be drawn from as many as 53 member states of across the Commonwealth. Therefore, it is almost senseless to suggest that because a Barbadian is not on the court, there is a problem with the institution.
The Caribbean Development Bank raises concerns about spiraling debt in Barbados and other Caribbean countries, and CDB's Director of Economics, Dr. Justin Ram, warns that it could hamper future growth if it's not reined in. Delivering the bank's 2014 Caribbean Economic Review and Outlook for 2015 during its annual press conference at Hilton this morning, Dr. Ram identified Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia as the countries whose indebtedness are of great concern, and he's provided some solutions for governments that can create sustainable growth over the medium term.
Many of our countries are too heavily indebted, and we encourage countries that are already doing so to stay the course on fiscal consolidation, and those that are not to begin to do so. We encourage the enactment of fiscal rules to ensure that we build this into our governance. We need to also improve the efficiency of revenue collection and how we spend those revenues. The overall future performance of any economy will depend on its asset base, and so we encourage capital investment and reform. 2, we know that fiscal consolidation can be painful, so we advocate for sufficient social safety nets that protect the most vulnerable in society from any negative effects. Ultimately, as Sir Arthur Lewis indicated, the study of economics is a study of the conditions under which people live. And so for the Caribbean policymakers, this must be our primary focus.
To sports now, and Weymouth Wales and DirecTV Paradise dished out heavy defeats as the Barbados Football Association's Premier League continued last night at the National Stadium. Wales defeated Solaris Pinelands 5-1 with goals from Jomo Hayward, who netted 2, and 1 each from Tristan Paris, Kemar Headley and Jason King. Lionel Paul scored for Pinelands, and in the second game, Paradise defeated Silver Sands 4-0 with 2 goals from Jabari Chandler and 1 apiece from Zico Phillips and Armando Lashley.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's time for AgriFest again. Come and enjoy the National Agricultural Exhibition on February 27th to March 1st at the historic Queen's Park. Over 300 exhibits on show, highlighting the theme, inclusive agriculture, strengthening linkages, creating synergies. AgriFest 2015, the biggest agricultural exhibition in the Caribbean. Don't miss it.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To news from the region now, in the Bahamas, where the top cop is pleading with residents not to harbor criminal elements. This as officers continue searching for the perpetrators allegedly responsible for the latest homicides. With the country's murder count now at 20 so far for the year, Commissioner Ellison Greenslade says his officers will not be able to arrest the crime situation if the public does not cooperate.
I've said to all and sundry, anyone that would listen, if we do not stop this hemorrhage, we're going to continue to record these kinds of statistics. There are far too many relatively young Bahamian men roaming the streets of New Providence who should be incarcerated. We see these same people over and repeatedly. They are arrested, they are properly processed, and they're back on the streets reoffending. And what is even more interesting, people that are losing their lives likewise have a checkered history of crime. It's very unfortunate.
And finally, on the international scene, where the Chelsea football team vows to support any criminal action brought against its fans who were filmed as they physically stopped a black man from getting on the Paris train.
The fans on the train are then heard chanting a song with the words, we're racist, and that's the way we like it, while a black woman is standing directly in front of them. Well, shocking images, and Chelsea released a statement following the incident saying such behaviour is abhorrent and has no place in football or society. We will support any criminal action against those involved in such behaviour, and should evidence point to the involvement of Chelsea season ticket holders or members, the club will take the strongest possible action against them, including banning orders.
That's our Barbados Today evening update. We'll be back again in the morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 Online TV, as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Have an enjoyable evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works, understand?
even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.